Astronauts floating in the vast emptiness of space, surrounded by stars, witnessing Earth as a blue marble from afar. It's a sight most of us can only dream of, but for them, it's a reality that comes with some truly mind-bending experiences. Time isn't as straightforward up there as it is down here. Clocks tick a little differently, and days blur into one another. So, what's really going on when our astronauts are playing around with the fabric of time itself? Stick around, because we're about to dive into the fascinating world of time distortions reported by astronauts, and trust me, it's going to make you look at your watch in a whole new way. Einstein's theory of relativity isn't just a mind-bending concept. It's a reality that affects astronauts orbiting Earth. At the heart of this are two key factors: velocity and gravity. Both cause time to behave differently than it does on Earth's surface. This isn't just theoretical musing, it's measurable. Astronauts experience time dilation, a difference in the passage of time, due to their high speeds and the lower gravity in orbit. Velocity plays a significant role. The faster you move, the slower time passes compared to someone at rest. Astronauts on the International Space Station, ISS, orbit Earth at about 17,500 miles per hour. That's fast enough to circle the globe every 90 minutes. This high speed means time on the ISS ticks slightly slower than on Earth. The difference is tiny, but it's real. Over a year, an astronaut's time would be off by about 0.1 seconds compared to someone on Earth. It might not seem like much, but it's a clear demonstration of relativity in action. Gravity also has a say in this time-traveling business. The stronger the gravity, the slower time moves. On Earth's surface, gravity is strong, so time passes at its usual pace. But in orbit, gravity is weaker. This means time ticks a bit faster on the ISS than it does on Earth. The effect is small, but it's there. It's like the ISS is in a slightly different time zone, not because of location, but because of gravity. This gravitational time dilation is a prediction of Einstein's theory, and it's been confirmed by precise atomic clocks. These effects might seem tiny, but they add up. In fact, they're so significant that GPS satellites, which orbit Earth at similar speeds and experience similar gravity, need to account for these time differences to function accurately. Without adjusting for relativity, GPS would be off by several kilometers per day. So, the next time you use your phone's navigation, you're seeing Einstein's theory in action. It's not just about astronauts, it's about the everyday reality of living in a relativistic universe. Astronauts have long reported peculiar experiences with time perception during their missions. These subjective reports often describe time moving differently than expected, with some moments feeling stretched out while others seem to pass in the blink of an eye. For instance, many astronauts note that tasks that typically take a certain amount of time on Earth feel either much longer or shorter in space. This altered perception isn't just a fleeting feeling, it's a consistent theme among those who have spent significant time in microgravity. One notable example comes from astronauts aboard the International Space Station, ISS. They often mention that a single day can feel like it's dragging on forever, yet weeks can fly by in what seems like no time at all. This paradoxical experience is thought to be linked to the lack of natural cues that help regulate our sense of time on Earth, such as the rising and setting of the sun or the cycle of day and night. In space, these cues are either absent or artificial, which can disrupt the brain's internal clock. The psychological and physiological effects of space travel also play a role in these time distortions. The stress and isolation of being in space can alter an astronaut's perception of time. For example, during high-stress moments, time might seem to slow down, while in more relaxed states, it can feel like it's speeding up. This is similar to how people on Earth might experience time differently during intense or mundane activities. The lack of a natural sleep-wake cycle can further exacerbate these feelings, as the body's circadian rhythms become disrupted. Interestingly, these experiences aren't just limited to long-duration missions. Even during shorter spaceflights, astronauts have reported similar sensations. For instance, during the Apollo missions, astronauts noted that time seemed to pass differently on the Moon compared to in orbit around Earth. This suggests that the altered time perception is not solely due to the duration of the mission but also the environment and the tasks at hand. Understanding these experiences is crucial for preparing astronauts for future long-duration missions, such as those to Mars, where managing time perception could be vital for mental health and mission success. In the vast expanse of space, astronauts face a unique challenge that disrupts their internal body clocks. The International Space Station, ISS, orbits Earth every 90 minutes, meaning astronauts experience 16 sunrises and sunsets each day. This rapid succession of day and night cycles can wreak havoc on their circadian rhythms, which are the natural, internal processes that regulate the sleep-wake cycle and repeat roughly every 24 hours. The absence of a natural day-night cycle in space can lead to significant sleep disruptions. On Earth, the regular cycle of light and dark helps to synchronize our internal clocks. But in the microgravity environment of the ISS, the constant cycle of artificial light and darkness confuses the body's natural rhythms. Astronauts often report difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, which can lead to fatigue and decreased cognitive performance. This is not just an inconvenience, it can have serious implications for their work and safety. To combat this issue, astronauts follow a strict sleep schedule. They use sleep stations, essentially small, cozy sleeping bags attached to the wall, to create a sense of privacy and security. They also use eye masks and earplugs to block out light and noise. Despite these efforts, many astronauts still struggle with sleep. NASA has been studying this problem for years, looking for ways to help astronauts adapt. One solution they found is using special lighting systems that mimic the natural progression of daylight. These systems can help to regulate the body's production of melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep. The effects of disrupted circadian rhythms aren't just a problem for astronauts. Shift workers on Earth face similar challenges. Understanding how to manage these disruptions in space can provide valuable insights for helping people on Earth who work irregular hours. It's a reminder that the challenges of space exploration can have benefits that reach far beyond the stars. In the vast expanse of space, astronauts often report peculiar experiences with time. This isn't just about the famous twin paradox from Einstein's theory of relativity. Instead, it's about the immediate, subjective experience of time passing differently. One of the key factors contributing to this is the effect of microgravity on the brain, particularly how it influences neurological responses related to temporal awareness. Microgravity, or the near-weightless environment of space, causes significant changes in the human body. The brain, being no exception, undergoes alterations that can affect how time is perceived. In the absence of gravity, the brain's vestibular system, which is crucial for balance and spatial orientation, receives different signals. This can lead to a disorientation that confuses the brain's internal clock, making time feel like it's passing more slowly or quickly than it actually is. Astronauts have described feeling like time is dragging on during spacewalks or other tasks. This isn't just a psychological effect, it's a neurological response to the altered environment. The brain relies on a complex interplay of signals from various sensory systems to maintain a consistent sense of time. In microgravity, these signals are disrupted, leading to a distorted temporal awareness. For instance, tasks that might take a few minutes on Earth can feel like they're taking much longer in space. Moreover, the lack of a natural day-night cycle in space can further exacerbate these effects. Without the usual cues from sunlight and darkness, the brain's circadian rhythms can become disrupted. This can lead to difficulties in sleeping and waking, which in turn can affect the perception of time. Astronauts often report feeling disoriented about what time of day it is, further contributing to the sense of time distortion. These effects highlight the intricate ways in which the brain adapts to and is influenced by its environment. Astronauts have long reported peculiar experiences with time perception during space missions. This phenomenon, often referred to as mission duration confusion, can make long missions feel unusually short or, conversely, endless. The microgravity environment and isolation of space can significantly alter an astronaut's sense of time. For instance, some astronauts on the International Space Station, ISS, have noted that a 6-month mission can feel like it's flying by, while others have felt as though they've been in space for much longer than they actually have. The human brain relies on various cues to keep track of time, such as the cycle of day and night, regular meal times, and social interactions. In space, these cues can become distorted. The ISS orbits Earth every 90 minutes, meaning astronauts experience 16 sunrises and sunsets each day. This rapid cycle can confuse the brain's internal clock, leading to a skewed perception of time. Additionally, the lack of natural time markers, like seasons or familiar routines, can make it difficult for astronauts to gauge the passage of time accurately. Some astronauts have described feeling like they're in a time warp. They might feel as though they've just arrived on the ISS, only to be told that they've been there for weeks. Others have reported the opposite, feeling as though their mission has dragged on much longer than it actually has. This confusion can be disorienting and has been known to affect an astronaut's mood and performance. NASA and other space agencies are actively studying this phenomenon to better understand and mitigate its effects. Interestingly, This time distortion isn't unique to astronauts. People in other extreme environments, like Antarctica or deep-sea submarines, have reported similar experiences. However, the unique combination of microgravity, isolation, and rapid light-dark cycles in space makes the phenomenon particularly pronounced. Understanding and addressing this issue is crucial for the planning of future long-duration space missions, such as those to Mars. The human mind is deeply connected to the rhythms of Earth. Sunrises and sunsets, day and night, seasons. These natural cycles shape our internal clocks. Astronauts, however, find themselves in an environment where these familiar time references vanish. In the vastness of space, there are no sunrises or sunsets to mark the passage of time. The International Space Station, ISS, orbits Earth every 90 minutes, meaning astronauts experience 16 sunrises and sunsets in a single day. This rapid cycle disrupts the body's natural circadian rhythms, making it difficult to distinguish between day and night. The absence of Earth's time cues can lead to a phenomenon known as temporal disorientation. Without the familiar markers of time, astronauts may struggle to keep track of days, weeks, or even months. This disorientation can have profound psychological effects. Studies have shown that prolonged exposure to this environment can lead to feelings of isolation, confusion, and even depression. The brain craves routine and predictability, and when those are stripped away, it can be challenging to maintain a sense of normalcy. Astronauts often report feeling out of sync with the world they left behind, a feeling that can be both disorienting and distressing. To combat this, astronauts rely on artificial timekeeping methods. They use clocks, schedules, and communication with mission control to maintain a sense of time. However, these methods are not always sufficient. The psychological impact of being separated from Earth's time references is a significant challenge for long-duration space missions. Researchers are exploring ways to mitigate these effects, such as developing better lighting systems that mimic natural light cycles or creating more structured daily routines. Understanding and addressing this issue is crucial for the well-being of astronauts, especially as humanity looks toward longer missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. Astronauts aren't the only ones who've reported experiencing time distortions. Pilots and submariners have also noted similar peculiarities when operating in extreme environments. These distortions often manifest as time passing either too quickly or too slowly, a phenomenon that can have significant implications for those involved. For instance, pilots flying at high speeds or altitudes might feel like time is moving faster than usual, while submariners on long, isolated missions often report that time seems to drag on endlessly. The reasons behind these distortions are complex and multifaceted. In the case of pilots, the high-speed environment and the need for constant focus can create a sense of temporal compression. The brain, trying to process vast amounts of information quickly, might perceive time as moving faster. This is somewhat akin to the way a thrilling movie can make you feel like an hour has flown by in minutes. Submariners, on the other hand, experience the opposite. The monotonous routine and isolation of underwater missions can lead to a sense of temporal expansion. Days can blend together, making it feel like time is passing more slowly. Interestingly, these experiences share commonalities with those reported by astronauts. The extreme environments, whether it's the vastness of space, the high speeds of flight, or the depths of the ocean, seem to alter our perception of time. This isn't just a matter of personal perception either. Studies have shown that these distortions can have real-world impacts. For example, pilots might underestimate the time it takes to complete a task, while submariners might overestimate the duration of their missions. Moreover, these distortions aren't just limited to professionals in extreme environments. Anyone who has experienced a high-stress situation or a monotonous task can relate to these feelings. The key difference lies in the intensity and frequency of these experiences for astronauts, pilots, and submariners. Their unique environments and the demands of their jobs make them more susceptible to these temporal distortions. Understanding these phenomena can help improve training, mission planning, and overall safety for those operating in extreme environments. Astronauts have long reported experiencing time distortions during space travel. These distortions can range from feeling like time is passing slower or faster than it actually is to experiencing moments of temporal disorientation. Such experiences, though often brief, raise significant concerns for deep space travel, particularly on missions that could last months or even years. The human brain relies heavily on Earth's natural cycles, like day and night, to regulate its internal clock. In the microgravity environment of space, these cues are disrupted, leading to potential long-term effects on an astronaut's perception of time. One of the primary risks of long-term temporal disorientation is the impact on an astronaut's mental health. Feeling disconnected from the normal flow of time can lead to anxiety, depression, and even hallucinations. For instance, astronauts on the International Space Station, ISS, have reported feeling like they are living in a timeless environment, which can be disorienting and stressful. This is particularly concerning for missions to Mars or beyond, where astronauts will be isolated from Earth for extended periods. The lack of familiar temporal landmarks, such as seasons or regular communication with loved ones, can exacerbate these feelings of disconnection. Moreover, temporal disorientation can affect an astronaut's ability to perform critical tasks. Time management is crucial in space, where every second counts during experiments, repairs, or emergency procedures. If an astronaut loses track of time, it could lead to mistakes, delays, or even catastrophic failures. For example, during a spacewalk, a few seconds of confusion about the passage of time could result in running out of oxygen or missing a critical step in a repair process. This risk is amplified on long-duration missions, where fatigue and stress can further impair cognitive functions. Another concern is the potential for long-term temporal disorientation to affect an astronaut's ability to reintegrate into Earth's time cycles upon return. After spending months or years in space, astronauts often experience jet lag-like symptoms that can last for weeks. This reintegration period can be challenging, as the brain struggles to readjust to Earth's 24-hour day. For deep space travelers, this adjustment period could be even more difficult, as they would have spent an extended period in an environment with no natural day-night cycle. This could lead to long-term health issues, including sleep disorders and cognitive impairments. In conclusion, the risks of long-term temporal disorientation in deep space travel are significant and multifaceted. From mental health concerns to task performance issues and reintegration challenges, the potential impacts are far-reaching. As space agencies plan for missions to Mars and beyond, it will be crucial to develop strategies to mitigate these risks. This could include designing spacecraft with artificial day-night cycles, providing astronauts with tools to track time more effectively, and conducting further research into the effects of long-term space travel on human cognition. By addressing these issues proactively, we can ensure the safety and well-being of astronauts on future deep space missions. As we wrap up our journey through the fascinating world of time distortions reported by astronauts, let's recap the key points we've explored. We've seen how astronauts experience time differently when they're up in space, with some reporting that time seems to pass more slowly or even stop altogether during intense moments. This isn't just some sci-fi fantasy, it's a real phenomenon that scientists are actively studying. The effects of speed and gravity on time, as predicted by Einstein's theory of relativity, play a significant role in these experiences. Even the smallest differences in these factors can lead to noticeable changes in how time is perceived. Now, you might be wondering, what does this mean for us here on Earth? Well, while we might not experience these extreme time distortions in our daily lives, understanding these concepts helps us appreciate the incredible complexity of our universe. It's a reminder that time isn't as straightforward as we often think. It's a dynamic, ever-changing aspect of our reality that can be influenced by various factors. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you ever had a moment where time seemed to slow down or speed up? Share your experiences in the comments below. And if you're as fascinated by this topic as we are, stay tuned for our next video, where we'll dive into the mind-bending world of black holes and their effects on time. Trust us, it's a journey you won't want to miss. Until then, keep looking up at the stars and pondering the mysteries of our universe. Who knows what secrets we'll uncover next?